we need to generate bodhicitta to think about our family, to make the wish, prayer, to be them from suffering, and to them obtain the perfect happiness. With that attitude, we are studying this book, and the word of my perfect teacher itself, it has 3 principal chapters, and we are on the first chapter, and the first chapter itself has 6 chapters. And then is in the among of the 6 chapters, and now we are in the first chapter or the second chapter or second session. It is called the impermanent, and now we are analyze how it is the impermanent, and we checked environmental. Universal is also not permanent, it is impermanent. And also is inner, all the living beings impermanent. And also it's like there is such a powerful, holy, and rich, beautiful, handsome, many this sort of beings or the humans are already went under the impermanent, and then it's like also we are learning about the example of the impermanent. We learn the example of the impermanent of the universal being and different things, and through this study and through these investigations, then obviously we discovered we are also impermanent. And then and we realize that the impermanent, then what we need to do, and also the relative point of view, we need to do some virtue, positive, and the cause of the happiness. And also there's such someone's understood impermanent. There are many different benefit. For example, yesterday, and we stopped the end of the quotation by the Patamba Songji. And it says the families are as afflicting as the crowd on market day. People of the Tengrupas. Here's the people of the Tengrupa. This is like his own area. And the Patambas, he came to in the Tengru areas. Everybody respect him very much, and he's become the teacher. It is not only the Patamba Songji is a very famous master, and he's sending this message to everybody. Don't bicker or the fightings, because everybody is afflicting as the crowd on the market days, and we don't know how long we'll be together. And also it's like whatever things come together, then it is bounding. It is like finally there's to be the part or the separations. And therefore, even if we realize that the impermanent, it is a benefit for our life, daily life in the families. It can make to harmony. It can make like kind of more too easily to practice patience and to be taking care of each other. Because it's like we sometimes we say it's like fighting and argue, bicker to each other. And to say, it's okay, if you leave, you go away. It doesn't matter, I can to create another family. And all the times we think it's like kind of forever, I'm like permanent. It doesn't matter, I'm not depends the use. But then it's like something is certainly happened, and then it's regret and like kind of sorrow. And this kind of then is later to concern, a little bit too late. And that perspective, when we together alive, and then to make the joy, harmony, and to be happy, to more concerning about the impermanent, we should to take care more. And like this, whatever is building are constructed are the bounding to the collapse. It is also truth. Many different house and whatever we build, and there's nothing kind of truly permanent. All the time is impermanent. And also it's like the village and monasteries that were once successful and prosperous, now lie empty and abandoned. And that is the really obvious. When we look at in Westerns, there's such monasteries, and ancient times they are very much successful and very powerful, very rich, prosperous. And now these days, when we visit to them, sometimes completely empty, collapsed, and nobody doesn't want to go to there, nobody doesn't want to stay there, completely abandoned. And sometimes we need to go to see in these situations, ruin out these kind of buildings and monasteries, histories. And we don't need to say it's very funny, it's like kind of fun. Look, not need to be the tourist. And when we be there, look, this kind of monasteries, this kind of successful, some persons, they build it. Maybe this kind of family, this kind of like communities, before there's such kind of rich, powerful. Now look, there's absolutely lying empty and abandoned. And this is the impermanent. And when I look at this, 100% me too. And also I'm impermanent. I need to do quickly something to Dharma. And where once there is a careful owner's life, now only the bird make their nest. And also this kind of successfuls, like jungles. It is like some is a castle, and some is monasteries, some different things. They have like a kind of very strong and owners. And also it's like very beautiful families, maybe beautiful like community, very powerful communities, and they have owner like this kind of monasteries, and some is like the castles, some is this kind of different rich, some is like a running out place. But now it's like only the owners become the birds, some insect bites, and they make nests. There's almost nobody cannot go to there. When you look at that, we don't need to say it's poor, and we don't need to say it's very funny, which century made. It's of course it's knowledge, but we should to immediately look, this kind of is impermanent. This is like a demonstration or the manifestation of the impermanent. I'm true, my nest of the house, and my family of the birds' families. Also, it's a like kind of impermanent. One day, 100% this kind of. And in this perspective, I need to do something quickly, urgently. Even you can look in Tibet, there's the Sami central three-storied temples. There's like kind of the wonderful monasteries built, the sponsors by the King Toson Detsen, and the most great and the masters Guru Rinpoche and Khenta Rakshita, they like kind of supported. They built this Sami monastery, built by the miraculous emanated workers here. And like kind of the day is human, but during the night, and like some spirits did help. And this kind of extraordinary, they built this one. During the reign of the King Toson Detsen, and concentrated by the second Buddha, like the consecrated means it's like kind of the blessed by the second Buddha of this Guru Rinpoche, Pema Sambhavas, was destroyed by the fire in a single night. And after the Guru Rinpoche, something left 1 year, and then fires came and completely destroyed it. And also this is the impermanent. There's nothing kind of permanent and stabilities. And also it's like the Red Mountains Palace that existed in the King Songtsen Gampo's times. Revealed the palace of the Inda himself. It's there's another, looks like Potala, and also of course like Potala, and there's another. But now that even the foundation stones are left, it is like certainly something happened. This Songtsen Gampo, he created like one, but only there's like the foundation of the stones left. There's nothing kind of, and this is also is like those such powerful honor of the king, and a powerful consecration doer of the great masters, and also it's like there's a great communities, but they are already gone, and also they place what they did. Now it's only trade. Only there is like kind of the line empty, and only the mixed birds like nest. There's left only the foundation stones. And when we think this kind of situations, of course we should to realize that our impermanent. In a companion, our own present towns, house, and monasteries are just some many insect nests, and compare that our own like kind of the families, house, villages are just like kind of the insect nests. There's nothing kind of the stability, nothing kind of the permanent. So why do we attach such importance to them? We are like concerning our belongings and things we do not understand the impermanent. We have such a very strong attachment to them, to say, I want to keep forever. And also it's like, this is my family, this is my house, this is my country, this is my palace, I want to keep over. So there's nothing to keep over forever. And it is like this, everything is impermanent. And it's in the both, it says, like even our deeds at our own body, one day we need to leave. And in this kind of the impermanence demonstration is very important to know about that. And then it's like if we want to really serious to do some Dharma, it would be better to set our hearts on following to the very end the example of the Kagyutpas of the old. And this is like before, like of course, the new tradition. Kagyut is like Mara Malas, and also there's some, not only that, there's Kadampas, some great Dharma practitioners, and they say it's like, who leave their homeland behind and hated for the wilderness. To live from the homeless. We live from homeless, and then it's like setting some other countries. Then it's this is become the secondary homeland. But for the practitioners, when they left from homeland, they never settled the like same as the homeland. They are like kind of the left from the middle of the human societies or something, to be the wilderness in order to accomplish the Dharma. They dwell at the foot of the rockies, and then it's like to sit in the cave, in the maybe rocky mountains, cliffs with only the wild animals, and for the companions, for them is, and then is without the least concern about food, clothing, are the renounced. And we are like kind of all the time is thinking the food, clothes, and also is like to receive the nice gossip. And of course, first the food, which is delicious, which is important, and also how many I stole my food. Maybe in my fridges I can to eat. I put it there, I stored in my fridges, maybe forever, months, years I can to eat it. In Switzerland has big problems, make jokes. And one day after the Second World War, and they are like a very clever way, they made one is the mountains completely fridge, one mountain, and then they put it inside the cheese, bread, and many food. And because it's like certainly some wars coming, all the Swiss people can't go there, and like almost yearly they can to stay there. But of course there's no war, and then finally all the food is ruined out and smelling, and then they need to take out and to clean up the years. But this story is national secret. You cannot talk more on it. And sometimes it's like we are collecting, maybe this food is maybe I will eat tomorrow, maybe next month, and like this progressively, preparing a lot, and also drinks. And then it's like a kind of to a little to be charming, deceptive, and like this. And the thanks, this is very nice. And this luminous light is hurting me. And then it's all the times like kind of in the front of the people's acting. I make a joke like kind of the me. I'm like kind of acting front of the you, lama, and sitting there and night to say and listen what you are talking about. And then you say it's like ugly guy. What he say, I don't know, like kind of the unpleasant hearing. And then I'm almost a cry. And she said, this is a Rinpoche, good food. Then it's a smiling, and then it looks like a more practitioner. The reality is liar. And like this, sometimes we are cheating to the others. It's like a front of the people, and it's like it's a very much serious, but behind we don't know. This kind of food and drink, and like kind of to be the famous. And this kind of, we need to make the renounce. And it's like renounce to, okay, I have just enough food. Today I'm thinking this kind of not, how do you say, to be rich, to be something. And also it's like clothes, sometimes it's just, okay, enough. And sometimes it's like we collected And I heard yesterday in the Tibetan communities, they say it's like each party timers, the ladies need to go to the buy shoes. And then it's like there's 10 parties, they have 10 pair of the shoes. And then it's after 11 party timers, they look at all the shoes. Those are not good. I need to go to you. And telling to the husband, say, sorry, darling, I need to run to buy the shoes. And some husband says, you have a lot of them. No, those are not very comfortable. Make joke. Okay? There yesterday someone told joke. It's like this. Sometimes we have many clothes. And in the cupboard, it's like exactly same me. It's full. But reality, all of them is good. But sometimes once wearing, put there, they never. And all the times buying, searching like this. A little bit kind of the run-ons, hesitations, whatever you have, and to like this. For example, the Shaji Zenkar Rinpoche, Alex Zenkar Rinpoche, he came to here, remember someone. And he's like tradition. When he buy one shoes or cloth, until he's exhausted, he never buy the new. And also he's all the times is second hand. He never buy the news. And look this kind of the really masters is like way of the behaviors, way of the thinking. We have this kind of example, but not. And also it's like to constantly food, drink, and kind of the prayer or to be well known. It's when we are impermanent arrive, I'm not sure it is can to help.